Kawhi Leonard has always been seen as one of the best players in the NBA and has also always been seen as the quiet guy who just gets the job done when it matters.
Leonard, 4 to shoot. Kawhi for the win. Yes! Hot damn! The Clippers win in overtime!
He stays out of the limelight and occasionally shows us glimpses of his greatness, but the image of Kawhi Leonard, the 2-time NBA champion, 2 times Finals MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA player, and more, has quickly declined over the years. From his fallout with the Spurs, to his non-desire to play, and now his controversy with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard will probably go down as the best undesirable player in NBA history. And in this video, we're gonna go over everything that led us to this point. But guys, before we get into the video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It'll really help this small channel grow. And this is the broken story of Kawhi Leonard. So the Clippers and Kawhi are both in the hot seat right now and are both being investigated by the NBA because essentially there's allegations that Kawhi Leonard was getting paid under the rug tens of millions of dollars by a company called Aspirations that went bankrupt. This has many people online having mixed emotions, with some people thinking it's not a big deal because it's essentially a sponsorship, while other people feel Kawhi Leonard is essentially cheating the system by bypassing the salary cap while not even playing games. I think the information that's been getting released to the public is definitely a little bit unusual, but I will say that something just got released on top of that actually pissed me off, and I'm gonna go over that later in this video. But to understand why this Kawhi Leonard situation is honestly so aggravating, we have to go back to where it all started. Early in Kawhi's career on the Spurs, he was surrounded by experienced veterans who really showed him the game. I mean, we're talking about a guy who early on in his career wasn't even known for having a jump shot and was only known for having great defense. But because he started to develop into such an elite defender, it helped the Spurs stay competitive longer, even though the Big Three was getting old. Fast forward to 2013 when the Spurs and the LeBron-led Heat met in the finals for the first time. It was cinema.
Parker on the drive, nearly lost it, still dribbling. Parker with 2 to shoot. Just gets it off in time, and he banks it in! What a shot from Parker! Gets off his feet!
But we all remember what happened in Game 6 when Allen hit the Big Three that sealed the deal. The Spurs ended up losing that final series, but in 2014, the Heat and the Spurs met again, and this time Kawhi had become a much better player. Offensively, he was now ready, and in Game 3 is when he recorded 29 points and shot 10 for 13 from the field. This boosted his confidence tremendously, and the Spurs ended up winning the series 4-1, granting Kawhi Leonard his first ring and Finals MVP. At this time, all seemed well, honestly, and his role with the Spurs seemed like it was a perfect fit. It was an organization that didn't care about the limelight, and they were making their star player Kawhi Leonard, who also doesn't care about the limelight. The following season, Kawhi Leonard continued to get better and better and earned back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year awards. Some people even considered him the best all-around player in the league at the time. Look, it was around this time when the conversations about who was a better player between Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant started to swirl. And look, I remember it. I don't know if you guys remember it, but those conversations were definitely being had. But slowly, red flags started to appear in Kawhi's career. And in the 2017-2018 season, he got diagnosed with an unusual and rare leg condition involving his quads. It appeared to be so severe that the Spurs ruled him out the remainder of the season after only playing 9 games. But towards the end of the season, the Spurs medical staff actually cleared him to be able to play again. But Kawhi on his own time actually went to go see a specialist in New York that supposedly advised him that he shouldn't play yet and he should wait it out a little bit more time. And this is where the standoff between the Spurs and Kawhi really began. Kawhi went as far as to not rehab with the Spurs medical staff anymore and chose to rehab with his own personal staff instead. In March 2018, the Spurs hosted a players only meeting, and this is where Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili actually ended up confronting Kawhi on his behavior. And this is where Parker told Kawhi that his own personal injury is 100 times worse than his, and he's still playing. Whereas it just appeared that Kawhi didn't want to play. And let me tell you, Kawhi didn't take that light. And sure enough, in June 2018, just a couple months later, Kawhi demanded a trade from the Spurs and ended up in Toronto. He spent 1 year with the Raptors and was still utilizing load management while on the team. Luckily for him, he was still able to win a championship that year, but ultimately disappointed fans due to him only staying with the team for 1 season. And this is when Kawhi Leonard landed on the Clippers. Once Kawhi was on the Clippers, reports started to come out that he was receiving special treatment compared to other players on the team. So allegedly, Kawhi Leonard would show up to practice late or not even show up at all. He would miss team flights or be late to them. He would make his own schedule, etc. And Kawhi actually still continued to do the load management controversy stuff, but this time it was on the Clippers and they weren't taking that too fondly, honestly. This was a big reason why the NBA ended up changing the rules regarding stars sitting out in nationally televised games when they're not injured. So fast forward to 2021, Kawhi legitimately got injured, tearing his ACL. This ultimately sidelined him for the entire next season. In the 2022-2023 season, he returned. But yes, you guessed it, he began utilizing load management once again and also claimed he was having knee pain. And this is where the criticism really started to come about in Kawhi's career. People started asking, is he really injured? Is he a wasted talent? Does he just not have a passion to play basketball anymore? And this brings us to this last season where in the playoffs, we saw Kawhi dominate in the first round. He honestly did remind us of how talented of a player he really is if he's focused. But this most recent accusation about Kawhi, it honestly has me pissed off. Prior to signing with the Clippers, allegedly Kawhi and his uncle, who was also his advisor, made some outrageous demands. First, in order to sign with the team, he wanted to have partial ownership stakes of the franchise. Next, he wanted private planes for him and his family to travel whenever they wanted. They also wanted luxury houses and other guaranteed off-the-court perks. When I heard this, honestly, I was hoping the Clippers did not grant Kawhi all these stipulations. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, we're talking about a guy who legit does not play. He's always on the bench. And it just surprised me that he honestly has the audacity to ask and make these stupid requests. But because he made these off-the-court requests, that's one thing the NBA is looking into because they believe that he's trying to circumvent the salary cap, which is obviously a huge violation in the NBA. And this honestly ties into the whole aspirations business thing and is he getting money on the side? So the NBA is honestly looking into all of that. I'm more so bothered by the fact that a player who hardly plays really made these crazy demands knowing he wasn't going to play much. But if the NBA finds out during their investigation that these allegations are true, the punishment can be fines, contract voiding, loss of draft picks, and more. But since all this stuff's been coming out, an anonymous member of the Clippers has come out to say that Kawhi is a nightmare to work with and they're ready to move on from him. Honestly, if these things are true about Kawhi, I hope the Clippers do move on from him and Kawhi humbles himself and tries to prove to the world again how great he really is. His talent aside, what do you guys think about Kawhi Leonard? Do you think he's gaming the system? Do you think all of this will hurt his legacy? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys spending your time with me and spending your time watching this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless. Late.